Welcome to the Growing Stronger Together podcast. This is a podcast for people who care about children. My name is Kim Hale, and I'm your host today. Thank you for joining us and listening. I'm always pleased to find out that we have a growing listenership. Is that what you call it, Mitch? Growing listeners and subscribers and all the things? All the things. For those of you who are loyal listeners, you know that whenever I'm hosting the podcast, we're always talking about children. And we're always talking about, language development and literacy, because I value that so much. And I also think that parents and caregivers underestimate how much power they can have. How many things they can do and are doing that really helps their child learn, especially learn to read. And so I'm very intentional in bringing guests on that have areas of expertise related to that. So I'm really happy today that Dr. Renee Lyons, who is a professor at ETSU in the Curriculum and Instruction Department, you're the coordinator of the School Librarianship, the Masters of Education program. And we have something so special in common, Renee, and that is I graduated from Blacksburg High School a long time ago. And somewhere along the way, Renee and I figured out that she went to college with one of my good high school friends, Sarah Wands, who's actually an author now.
Yes, she is. She's been an author. Yeah.
That's exciting.
For many years.
So that's made us have this unique connection because we know this sweet person and we know her very well.
Yes, she is very sweet.
Oh,
Very
she's
sweet
wonderful.
person. So,
Yes,
yeah. If you're out in San Diego, California, look her up
that's
because
where she is.
she can come visit your library or your school and
Does she
share her books.
Does she still go by Sarah Wands?
Sarah Tomp.
Sarah.
Yeah, that's how I knew her.
T-O-M-P.
MP. Yeah.
Okay, Sarah Tomp.
Yeah.
Fascinating, happy.
Yes, always happy.
Always happy. Just so sweet. So you can imagine. And I think, Renee, we figured that out over a Facebook connection maybe, that you and I both commented on something, or maybe it's when she published a book. And I said, Renee, how do you know her? And she said, well, how do you know her? So we have a common friend.
It's a small world after all.
It is, right? Even though she's in California.
Yes.
And we're in Tennessee.
Yes.
Well, thank you for coming this morning.
Yes, you're welcome. Thank you for having me, Kim.
It's your first podcast, right?
It is my first podcast.
You're going to get hooked. You're going to love it.
I love listening to podcasts.
Do you?
I really do.
Okay, so maybe you're going to start listening to this one.
Yes, absolutely.
And maybe you'll have more ideas for us of what else we should talk about.
I hope so.
I hope so, too.
I'll be reaching out to you next time, right?
Well, I mean, I think I mentioned this on the last podcast, that I'm a very blessed person because I've made a lot of connections and relationships and friends and across the state and in southwestern Virginia, which, that's where I grew up. And so it's been really wonderful to reach out to people that I know and talk about their expertise.
Right.
It's really not mine. It's the wonderful guests that come and talk that I appreciate.
It's good we're talking together. We need to, especially at this hour, don't we?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let's start with Renee, because I think people do not realize how popular your school librarianship program is. So when someone comes to get a master's degree in that program, what are they studying?
They are studying the values and ethics that have been passed down since Benjamin Franklin. And he started libraries in our country, free circulating libraries.
I did not know that.
He did, yes. He called it the Junto. And so, he started almost everything in our country, actually. Fires and everything. So, such a genius. But, he was responsible for our concept of free circulating libraries in our country. There had been some concept of that in Europe, too. But in our country, he was responsible for that. But we study all that. We studied the history. We studied children's literature. My program's really heavy in literature because I feel like that's very important. We're talking about reading and literacy.
Right.
The book is still so important. So we're very heavy with children's and young adult literature, multicultural literature. And I hope to get into some Appalachian children's literature as the program progresses.
Let's go ahead and talk about that.
Okay.
You and I, you'd mentioned that to me when we sort of prepped for this conversation, and I've been thinking a lot about that.
Mm-hmm.
So when we just chatted in my office, you said, you know, Kim, we don't have as much Appalachian literature as we did at one time, right? That people were writing, and it was, I guess, sort of a trend for a while.
It was in the 80s, like late 70s, 80s. And we haven't had a lot, you know, since then. Not, I mean, some, but not a lot. So back then it was, and that's still who I would recommend you follow is Gloria Houston from Ashe County, North Carolina, and George Ella Lyon from Kentucky. Those are some of the major ones that are, I mean, they're still what you need to go to.
Right.
Because we need those, the children from our region need those mirrors so that they see themselves in our society as well. So there needs to be more Appalachian children's writers. So
we have so many Appalachian stories.
Yes.
And at ETSU, we have a storytelling program. You can get a master's in storytelling. Jonesboro has the International Storytelling Festival.
Right.
So it seems to me that in an area so rich with stories, that there should be some people writing some children's books.
Well, there may be people writing them, but the publishing is the problem. I mean, you know, like I have written some, but getting those particular stories published, you know, because publishers want mainstream and they want things that are going to sell.
Makes sense.
And they think, well, I don't want to target just one area, but we still need that, you know. I mean, we're getting all kinds of other cultures published, you know, stories about other cultures published, but it seems like this one is being ignored a little bit to me.
Okay.
So I feel like that needs to be in the mainstream thought that we need our stories out there too.
Okay, so listeners that have connections with publishers.
Yes, that's right.
We just tossed you an idea.
Yes.
Well, and even Dolly Parton Foundation.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. Her Imagination Library distributes books, and I'm sure she tries to pick books, you know, but there's just not many out there.
They're just not there.
Yeah, they're just not there.
Well, I'm going to start being intentional about that. You know, I have 4 grandchildren, so
Right.
There is something really special about being here, isn't there?
Yes. Yes, there is.
And
We have a lot of stories.
You grew up in Boone, North Carolina, right?
I did grow up in Boone, and so storytelling was heavy in my culture, you know, and where I lived, my grandmother was a storyteller. My mother didn't say she was a storyteller, but every time she told us a story, it was like this long, extended detail, you know, so she was a storyteller too. So I hope I have some of that in me as well. So,
yeah, your career has just followed that trajectory.
Yes,
I mean,
it has.
that's amazing.
Yes. And that's the first thing I think, speaking of literacy, that's the first thing you need to think about for your children is storytelling. You should tell them stories, even if it's just what you did today. You should provide details about that. You should try to put different language and different vocabulary in that story. So talk to your children and tell them stories. Tell them stories of your childhood, you know, what fun you had. So it's very important.
I've had a lot of guests on, and that seems to be the talking with children seems to be the number one thing. Parents seem to forget that talking with children is more than do your homework, go take a bath, go to your room, put on your shoes.
Right.
More than just directives. We're talking conversations.
I was thinking about that this morning as I was driving over here to speak with you today. And I mean, would you deny your child food for their body? So, no, you would not. So do not deny them story for their mind. So
good point.
Yes. Take that time. You take the time to fix a meal for them at the end of the day. Take that time to, feed their mind and their vocabulary and their intellectual development as well.
You're making me think, Renee, when I worked in schools and I had children, come to school and really had lived in such stressful environments of parents working and in poverty that they had not had much of that experience. And I remember needing to teach them beginning, middle, and end because they really didn't have a concept. When we would talk about a story and then talk about what happened at the beginning, that was I don't know what that means. And so the only way I knew to teach that was to have a train and say, what's the beginning of the train and what's the end, right? The engine, the caboose, and here's the middle. And so that really struck me about, wow, really when children are not exposed to language and concepts and stories and details and then asked for details or asked for a summary, like what happened or, describe what that character was like, they really struggle when they get to school because there's so many things that they don't know that as school folks, we assume they've been exposed to.
Yeah, let them ask questions, while you're telling stories.
So it doesn't have to be sitting down and reading a book. You can...
Yes, just talking over the dinner table. It's what pediatricians are saying, have a meal together and talk. It's so important.
Without the phone.
Without the phones.
Or the tablet. Or the tablet. Or the television.
Or the television.
Right.
Enjoy each other and use your imagination. When you're talking with each other or telling a story, you have to use your imagination. So your mind's working double time.
So the students that are attracted to your program, are they like you, that they are like lovers of literature?
They are literature, and I get stories. I talk with students before they enter the program, and they all say, "I've been wanting to do this for years. I've been thinking about this for years." It's like a calling, like we say preachers are called, or whatever. I would say 70% of my students are like that. They're like, this has been in the back of my mind for years and years, and I'm going to do this now. And so it's very inspiring.
That is inspiring.
Yes.
So they go on to be a librarian at a school.
Yes, they are licensed to be a K-12 librarian. They can work in any library, a school library in the state of Tennessee. And it's reciprocal to 40 different states.
Oh,
the license is. Yeah.
Well, and that's been a robust program for ETSU for a while now.
Yeah, we've done well.
There's a big interest in that.
Yes.
Which now that I think about it, Renee, I think I would have liked to have done that.
Yes.
I love books, and that's one of my weaknesses is children's books.
I'll admit you.
But what a great job that would be.
Yes, yes.
But I'm assuming there's a technology piece to this, right?
There is, yes. American Association of School Librarians has a best websites that they choose every year. And I encourage my students to follow that and to use those technology websites. There's apps, there's just, all sorts of instructional technology development where you can create pathfinders or you can create presentations for your library classroom. So every class that I teach, there's a technology component where they have to present and create something. And there's a funny meme out there about school librarians versus academic librarians, and the school librarian has all these feathers and everything on. And academic librarian has, the tie and that sort of thing. And the school librarian is just, So, yeah, we're encouraged to be creative and to express and to let our students see that and ask them to do the same.
Because every child in Tennessee in a public school gets to have time in the library with the librarian,
yes,
right?
And that's very fortunate. I think I want to say to the state of Tennessee, it's wonderful that you still encourage school librarianship and you hire school librarians and you expect them to be trained properly. So
That's a big thing because, I can remember learning how to do a research paper with the librarian.
Yes.
Right.
Right.
And I also remember, because I grew up in Blacksburg, getting to go to the Virginia Tech Library, which was very overwhelming. But that value of reading and books and really just the artistry, the creativity, and also like exhibits, like it wasn't just books. There was a lot of culture in my libraries.
That play that we encourage, at a younger age to develop that lifelong desire to read and to learn, I mean, that is innate in us, and let's not let's not educate it out of our children. Let's make that fun. Let's make learning fun and playful. So once they do develop that, then they can get into research and, why does this work the way it does? And why did that happen the way it did? And it's fun for them. It's not like research, it's
Yes.
fun.
Yes.
So,
Yes, I remember being excited about the things that I wanted to learn about.
if you get into research of any kind, science, history, whatever you're researching, there are these aha moments where you're like, you can't make this stuff up. So,
Yeah, very important.
yes, very important.
Very important.
We want that to be fun. You want learning to be lifelong, and we want it to be fun and something that really engages our intellect.
And keeping our libraries available because they're free.
Yes, they're free for all.
For all.
And that's a concept that Franklin started, of course.
Yes.
And, we want to keep that. I mean, it's the one thing in society where citizens of all shapes, sizes, socioeconomic backgrounds can come and get free materials to develop their mind. And we want our minds developed in our country, where it's a competitive world, and we really need to develop our intellect.
Well, we need new ideas. And
we need new ideas, imagination.
Yes, and smart people. Yes. I'm always watching the newspaper for what's going on in the libraries in Washington County and Johnson City because it's pretty amazing. And it's across the age span. So there's littles, and then there'll be children, and then there's teens, and then there's families, and then there are adult things, and then they're having people that do genealogy, and like there's all the things.
Yeah, some of my students in school librarianship, they can also go into a public library. I've had my students hired by public libraries. Johnson City here, for example, has hired some of my students, and they go into the youth services. So the children's services and the youth services. And that's something new that's wonderful for me with in my lifetime is youth services for, the age 13 to 18 or 21. And so they need to be served too. Reading enjoyment doesn't stop at after sixth grade. So
that's true. In fact, it becomes even more important.
It's more important, yes.
Because you've learned to read, now we want you to read to learn.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, and always remember that nonfiction too. Fiction's, where you start, but then get into that nonfiction and that aha moment I was just talking about.
Yes. So I've said this on this podcast. I think that I have two children, Renee, a boy and a girl. And I went to school to be a teacher. I wanted to teach first grade. So when I choose books, they tend to be, first grade fiction, which my daughter was fine with. But my son, who's very mechanical, I read a book to them every night, and he would always pick how things work, which was nonfiction. And I would look at him and say, Andrew, really, can we read something else? Mommy is tired of reading this book. No, Mommy. No, I want this. And so it was very, I did not find it enjoyable, but he loved it.
Yeah, whatever they love, let them.
So I had to really reevaluate. I worked in schools, so anytime there was a book fair, I was always so I had to really reevaluate what I was buying because I tended to have this bias because of what I enjoy. I still enjoy fiction. And he is very happy reading a car manual.
Yes.
Right?
Some people are like that. They just want, they will not read fiction, but they'll read nonfiction. So, let people develop in the way, who they are.
Yes.
It's the way I
Because we need him. I mean,
yes, we need.
He's on speed dial for me. Anything that happens at my house.
Right.
Andrew, can you come and fix? Yes, Mom. Because that's his interest.
In this area, the school librarians should collect, hunter magazines for young people,
Right.
or fishing, So
Yes,
I always did when I was in my own school library. So
that's a big deal here.
yes, it's a big deal. It gets them reading.
Really well, it does get them reading.
It really does.
And realizing that there's more information out there than what they know.
Yes.
And that they can.
Ranger Rick, is a magazine. Yeah,
I remember
they
Ranger
love
Rick.
that. They love the magazines. Maybe even a child that won't get a book will get a magazine and look at it and read it.
That's a good point.
Yes.
Do they still publish Ranger Rick?
Yes. Yes.
I loved that when I was a kid. That and highlights.
Yes, highlights.
I love
still
highlights.
Publishing, yes.
Okay, so that's another tip.
That's another tip.
So far, I've already gathered these tips, Renee. Talk with your child.
Yes,
right.
absolutely.
So storytelling.
Yes.
Just even if it's just what you did today.
Yeah, what
right?
you did today. Yeah.
And then the library.
Yes, absolutely.
Take advantage of your library.
There's storytelling opportunities at the library, and youth services, and summer reading programs. And libraries now, public libraries, are collaborating with school libraries to provide homework assistance and
I didn't know
websites that about study skills and that sort of thing. So, yeah.
Okay, parents, there's another tip.
That's another
tip.
Resource for you. Yeah.
And then Ranger Rick highlights magazines.
Yes,
look for those
magazines. Yes, and the school librarian will know about those magazines and should be subscribing to them if they have a budget. So support your school library.
Yes, support the school libraries.
So they have knowledge of those and can order those on a subscription basis. So again, that'll be free for all too. Your public libraries do have some as well.
That's amazing.
Yes.
You mentioned a website. Is that just for like librarians, or can parents?
Parents can also, anyone can access. It's the American Association of School Librarians' best websites for learning.
Okay.
And so anyone can Google that and look it up. And there's also, and every year they give, the top sites that are working best for the students and young people, and also for instructors and school librarians. So
I'm going to put that in the show notes so people can see that. I had no idea.
Yes, yes.
Well, now see, I've learned something today. I'm going to have to go look that up.
Good. It's wonderful. We want those to be shared because they're the best in the country.
Well, and we need that.
Yes.
There are so many things available through apps and online.
Right.
It's really hard to know.
It's so hard, yes, to filter through it. So this is done for you already. So
okay.
Yeah.
And I always have these ideas percolating, Renee, that if you ever do a project and have students review those, that would be a wonderful podcast for your students to come do.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, it would.
So
talk about some of those.
Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind.
They have some really good news sources for kids too, that are geared towards, and those sources try to show them how to filter news as well. So.
Oh. Yeah. See, I didn't know that either.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm going to have to get that in the show.
Yes. Yes.
We are uncovering so many things. Yes. I'm so glad you came.
Well, thank you for having me.
We clearly haven't had enough time together, Renee. I rarely see you, even though we're in the same building.
I know. We need to remedy that.
Right.
Somehow.
Because it gives me so many ideas. Mm-hmm. And, I'm a grandmother now, which is probably my most important job.
Yes.
And so I have time to do all these things.
Grandmothers are the storytellers.
I mean, my children they were with me, my grandchildren, this weekend. And Kiki, what are we going to read?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. And I had just purchased Go Dog Go and Hop on Pop because I have I have an 8-year-old. He told me, Kiki, I can do that.
Yes.
But then I have a 4 and a 5. And so they were all about reading those.
About reading, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I say get those books in their hands as soon as they can hold one. Get them in your lap. They say there's no app better than a lap, and I agree with that, even though I'm promoting some apps for later on. But those early years are so important. There's no app better than a lap.
Yeah. Many of my guests say start reading when you're pregnant, as soon as the baby gets here.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. talk to your child while you're pregnant.
Because they're wired for language.
They can hear.
Yep.
Yes, they're wired for language.
Wired for language. They can understand language way before they can
They're wired to love
say
it
it.
too, not to begrudgingly come into it.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So keep that instilled in them. Don't let it be lost.
And to be a reader yourself.
Yes.
Right? To take,
yes. You have to be a model.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
we all say, you just do this as I say. Well, we know that doesn't work. So, yeah, be a model.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's hard to do because people are busy.
Yes, it's really hard for parents. I'm not saying it's not, but you've got to take that time. Think about it as I see it, like you're feeding them. You're feeding their mind. So you wouldn't want to not feed them, right?
Right.
So,
it's vital. Right?
It's vital.
It's vital. It's not something
yeah, and I say libraries are to the mind what hospitals are to the body. So would we not want to support the hospital? Of course we will. So we would. So we need to support libraries of any and all kinds, school, public, academic, and special libraries.
Yes. Yeah, and we know with government cuts, that's been a discussion. Do we really need these services? And
Well,
that's a
do you
bit
want-
heartbreaking to
I
us
mean-
that love literature. And
Yes, we're more than just a body, aren't we? I mean,
Yes.
we're a soul, we're a mind, so
right. We need all.
we need all three.
We need all three.
And of course, literature to me is also feeds your soul. You're learning all these moral lessons when you read literature.
And you can see yourself in some stories.
You can see yourselves. That's why Appalachian children's
Yes.
literature is so
Yes.
important, because you feel like you're part of everything. And of course, that's a problem we have in society. People are not feeling a part of or disenfranchised. So we don't want that. We don't want our children to feel that way.
No.
So,
Yes, and we want them to have a healthy view of being an Appalachian
that's right.
child.
Absolutely.
Right. And
Absolutely.
not some of the stereotypes that you and I have dealt with in our lifetime.
And we have dealt with them, and we're one of the last stereotypical caricatures to go. For example, it was, 5, 6 years ago, Saturday Night Live was doing this horrible skit about Appalachian Emergency Room. And they would not have done that with any other culture.
Right.
So it's imperative that we
Yes.
honor our culture too.
Yes.
You know, and those mirrors that are important for children in our region.
And it's such a beautiful, rich region.
It is. It's beautiful.
Like I tell friends and colleagues in other places, ETSU is one of the few places that I have been that I can walk across campus and there are students playing a mandolin or a banjo, both, or practicing their music. And
Right.
it's just an unbelievable feeling to be on this beautiful campus in the mountains and,
Right.
and seeing students create such beautiful music and doing it together.
That's one reason I love our university, is that it honors our culture instead of trying to push it to the back. You know,
Yes.
like some others may. But we have bluegrass program, we have the storytelling program, we have the Archives of Appalachia.
Yes.
We have Appalachian Studies, which is well known in Appalachia. So
Yes, we are very proud of that.
yes, I'm very proud of that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You've really taught me a lot already. Other things that you would have parents do with their children or think about as you're trying to promote their love of reading and storytelling and literature? What are the
Well, understand that kind of the intellectual growth trajectory. So storytelling, talking, going to your public library, as early as you can every week, and having those storytelling times, putting board books in their hands. Poetry is important. So Mother Goose, don't forget those rhymes, how important that singing, because, a lot of the Mother Goose songs or you can, that's instilling that love of language and that rhyme and the rhythmic beauty of our language. So that's important. So don't forget poetry, rhyme, and Mother Goose. There's a lot of children's books out there that are poetry, and they're not as well known, but they're beautiful, just beautiful. And the art and the illustrations are wonderful.
Yes.
So, and then start with the, the picture books, and there's so many good picture books out there, and make sure they're checking them out and learning how to use the library.
That's a good point of learning how to use the
You
library.
have to learn to use a library.
Yes. And we don't have library cards anymore. Remember, we used to have the library catalogs, and that's different now, right?
Right. My students also learn cataloging.
Because we still have to
It's
do
still
that.
important. We still have to
It's
do
just
that.
that we just don't do it in a card catalog. Remember
That's right. Oh, yes. I remember the card.
So now it's all electronic, but we still catalog so that you know where to find things
Yes.
and how we arrange things.
How we arrange things. You need to teach your children, about the Dewey Decimal System and where fiction is and where easy books are. And they need to be familiar with it. My mother used to just, let me out at the library for an hour or so. And the librarians would just show me around. And we used to have albums I could check out. And I mean, it was just it's like visiting Disneyland.
Yes,
today, you
right?
know?
Because there were so many things. Yes, my children, we used to check out the VHS tapes.
Yes,
That's how old my
yes,
kids are.
yeah.
And my son watched The Hobbit, oh gosh, probably 35 times. That's what he wanted every time.
Yes.
But then, we graduated to reading The Hobbit. And,
Yes.
yes. And so.
So that's important, those series. So, of course, The Hobbit is a series of books by Tolkien. And so once they have that picture book, they read some chapter books, get them into the series, Junie B. Jones or Judy Moody or any of those series books. But for me, it was the Black Stallion books.
Yes.
Walter Farley.
Yes.
I mean, those are still very viable. So any series that your child latches onto and they want to continue with those characters and have them in their life more than one book, be sure you get those and somehow check them out.
Like the Series of Unfortunate Events.
Series of Unfortunate Events, Time Warp Trio.
Treehouse.
Treehouse
Magic
books. School Bus.
Magic School Bus.
Yes. All
Yes, those are a lot. There's
so
a lot of them.
important. There's a lot of series.
And you don't have to buy them. You can go to the library and check these
You
out.
can go to the library and check them out. And that's so exciting for children as well. Oh, is series number 3 in?
Yes. Can I?
No, but it'll be back next week.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
So.
Do you have thoughts about children reading on a tablet versus reading a book, physical book?
Oh, yes, I do. And physical books.
Okay.
Because it's not just me saying that. It's research over the past, 10, 20 years has said that a child comprehends more in print material than tablet or e-books. I'm not saying, don't let them read the e-book, but I'm just saying that with print books, you're going to have a child that can comprehend what they're reading more. And that's so important as well. Not just sitting there and reading the words, but the comprehension and what does this mean. And that's why we have literature classes. What does this mean? And what is it saying? And how can I learn from it? So.
The only time I like reading on a tablet, like my Kindle, is when I'm traveling because it's an easy, it's not a heavy book. I can stick it in my bag and But boy, when I'm in an airport, if I don't have something to read, I'm just because that's a long
it is
right, and what a great use of my time to be able to escape and read some fiction because you're not going to find me reading much nonfiction.
Yes.
I mean, I guess I do that a lot with my work, but when it comes to my pleasure time, I want to read.
I love both. How I developed that, but I love both.
Well, maybe I need to work on both.
Yes.
Right.
There's so much. We have creative nonfiction now, which is telling the story.
Okay.
So of a certain subject. So they try to make it more narrative focused. And so check out some of those creative nonfiction books out there. That mostly that's what's on the bestseller nonfiction now.
Really?
Like those kind of creative nonfiction books.
Well, I have been reading The Backyard Chronicles by Amy Tan because I'm a big birder, which my kids are like, yes, Mom, you're definitely old. But I have loved that because, she's a novelist.
Yes.
And she drew pictures. I mean, it's beautiful.
Right.
And it's been on the bestseller list.
There's
But she just writes stories about the birds that come to her feeders. And you know, she observes them and she draws pictures of them, and I find it to be hysterical.
We have those purely informational books still, which is fine, but we also have this opportunity for developing nonfiction readers and learning the whole story, and it's fascinating.
Yes.
Some of the stories are fascinating.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm assuming that kids still do book reports, and that's still part of their library assignments. And
Book reports. Oh, those are usually more engaging than I think than they might have been in our age.
Oh, really?
Because they're using technology.
Okay.
They're creating like book trailers. They're creating like trailers that promote the books, like an ad for the book.
Really?
It's like, if you wanted to tell us why somebody else should read Huckleberry Finn, create a trailer and advertise the book.
That is a very different approach, but how
Yeah.
fun.
It is fun. It's so much fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's very fun. I've never thought about that.
They're doing things like that and creating projects, and their book clubs are doing that as well. The youth book clubs, they're creating their own book trailers, and they're also doing like mock awards. So like every year, the Newbery Award, that's our highest award for children's literature in our country. All children all across the nation are doing these mock awards. So they're reading, you know, the books for that year, and they're saying, "Oh, I think this one will win," and they vote, and so all those kind of fun things they're doing with books now.
Fun.
Yeah,
That is so fun.
and so, you know, introverts can get involved too. You know, I know for me, getting in front of a crowd when I was young was hard, but you know, we're honoring them now, and they can do their thing and present it too.
Yes.
So,
and it keeps them aware that there are awards for children's books.
yes,
Right?
yes, and they
so-
can follow those
Yes.
awards.
And parents can look for those kind of things too. Like, if this has an award, then it's probably a good story.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, definitely. It's been vetted and by the committees, which I've been on some of those committees with
Really?
the American Library Association. Yes.
That's impressive.
And man, we spend a lot of time discussing them,
Yes.
and not everybody has the same opinion.
Oh,
So
I
we
bet
have to come together and pick that one book, and I cannot tell you how hard that is.
Oh, I can imagine. I can imagine.
It's really hard.
I do like to pay attention to those.
Yeah.
Because I'm always curious if those have been books that I've been drawn to and that I purchased.
So it's the excellence is there.
Yes.
For sure.
It's a great weakness of mine to buy children's books. It's a good
Yes.
thing I have grandchildren,
Me
or I would have to make some excuse for why am I buying these?
Yeah, and you don't have to buy them though, everyone.
I
They're
know,
at your public
you
library.
can go to the public library.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a good idea. Yeah. Have we covered everything that you'd have on your list for parents?
Oh, well, I just want to say that when you're doing all these fun things, you're also doing something very serious. You're developing your child's cognitive abilities, their language skills. You're preparing them for academic success. They can go on to college or to any kind of training school that they want. You're developing that bonding with them that you're going to need especially in their teen years. You're going to need that to call on that, right?
Right. Well, and my children will say, "Mom, I remember when we read that book." Right? Or, "Mom, do you remember that time that we read a book about?"
Yeah.
Because every Christmas I would buy some, I don't know, maybe it would be a Karen Kingsbury or a Richard Evans, right? Some very sweet, you know, it was a chapter book, but we would read it as a family every night, just a chapter at a time.
I had my students, one of the first assignments they do is to look back on the books from their childhood and how it helped them develop intellectually and morally, and how it, you know, influenced what they became in life. And so,
Reader's Digest was a big part of my life.
yes, me too.
You know, the words, do you remember the words where you had to pick the
Yes, I remember that.
the definitions, and then the I guess the stories were abbreviated in there.
they were.
But yeah, I loved reading the Reader's Digest.
Yes, yeah, any magazine, you know.
Yeah.
If you have a reluctant reader, a
That's the thing
magazine's
to
a
do.
great place to start. So.
Yeah, that's the thing to do.
Develops concentration and focus and discipline. to be literate, imagination and creativity, vocabulary. They say if you read and talk and tell stories with your child before kindergarten, they have 290,000 more words they know than someone that's not exposed to that. So
that's amazing.
So you're just setting up your child for life success.
Yes.
The American Academy of Pediatricians, they concentrate on literacy. They understand that the development of the mind leads to better health as well, all through life, because you can read, about how to take care of yourself. You can make critical decisions about your health.
And you could understand what the doctor's asking, or you can formulate questions.
Yes.
To find out more.
Yes.
Right, because you have some
make
confidence.
the best decision for you.
Yes. So. Yes. I have a pediatric resident coming to do a podcast, sometime in May, about his experience with the Reach Out and Read program and the impact it's had on him as he is going out to have a pediatric practice of his own.
Right.
And of course, my hope is he's going to be a Reach Out and Read site and give a book at every well child visit. But, there's lots of challenges with that, in that you have to keep finding the books and physically bringing them in and then giving them, they walk out the door, and then you have to go find more, and you have to store them, and you have to know how to separate them for, this is more appropriate for a 6-month-old, and this one's more appropriate for a 5-year-old. And it's been entertaining to me to realize that a lot of people don't understand the difference.
I also advocate for literacy. I know you don't have much time for that, and it shows in our society that we don't have that time, but anything you can do, if you just pick up a phone, call your representative, write those letters, fill out the form that they send. A lot of professional organizations send you forms. Please tell your congressman that you support literacy. So advocate all you can.
Yes. I'm excited that the Gray Library is going to be moving to a bigger space. I can't wait to see that.
That's wonderful.
That's
Space matters too.
Oh, yeah.
And the ambiance and the beauty of that library does. And I talk to my students about that as well. And we look at some of the beautiful libraries in the country, such as New York Public or Boston Public and Library of Congress. We talk, I try to introduce those to them, and I say, I wish we could do a field trip.
Yes,
so I would love to do something like that.
That would be wonderful.
Yes,
we just need to find a donor that would allow us to do that.
That's right.
But how meaningful that would be.
So meaningful.
So meaningful.
So meaningful.
And what an experience, because not many people do that, right?
Right.
That's one of the things I like to do when I go to a different city, is to go to the library just to see what it's like.
If you can't travel that far, look, find some of the libraries in your community that are older, that were built beautifully, like Carnegie libraries. I think we have one close by. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Well, this has been a great conversation, Renee. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kim,
Thank you
for
for
having
coming.
me today. I love talking about this. I could go on and on, right?
Well, that means you were in the right career. That you've chosen wisely, because it's your passion and you love it.
Yes.
And I appreciate all the tips that you've given us,
Well,
and new information and knowledge for me.
Well, thank you.
And I'm really pleased, Renee, that I just emailed you and said, "Hey, Renee," and you're like, "Yeah, let's talk about that."
Yeah,
So
let's do.
Thank you for taking that risk.
Thank you for doing this podcast. It's so important.
And good luck with your students. The semester's about to end.
Yes.
Do you have summer classes?
I do.
Okay, so just keep on trucking.
Yeah, just keep on going.
Thank you so much.
Keep reading too.
Keep reading. You read yourself, read to your children, tell stories.
That's right.
Enjoy language.
Find a good beach book.
You find a good beach book. Yes, and if you are an Appalachian writer, and
keep writing.
Keep writing, and we'll pray that you find a publisher.
That's
and
right.
We'll keep urging that. So I want to say thank you to Ballot Health for sponsoring this podcast. It's part of their commitment to enriching our society and taking care of families and children. Thank you for listening. I hope you join me next time. I'll have more stellar guests coming up. And until that time, take care.